Someone is at the doorbell.
What probably happened was they talked to somebody at the country club and said, fuck no, we're not having those assholes here. Okay, I'm guessing she's not coming because she's in the chat. I just yelled at her. It's okay, honey. You be wherever you want to be. I can't hear you. Oh, yeah, if you want to, I guess. Oh, no, she's driving. She's driving. I didn't know you could do that while you were driving. Okay, honey. You're good. Door's unlocked. Oh, shit. We may get fewer views than normal because when I first opened up the stream, it was unlisted rather than public. So some of the people who aren't whatever won't see it, but anyway, it's okay. You have your mic on?
I think so. I sound like Luke Skywalker. I sound like who's the guy in Star Wars?
No, just stop.
Luke Skywalker.
Who's the guy from Star Wars?
I'm Luke Skywalker. Does he not sound like that?
Steve,
Huh?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Isn't Luke Skywalker the one that talks like this?
No.
No.
Is
Oh
it
my God.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Oh my God.
Stop it. Just stop.
Can you, like, shut up?
He's a fucking idiot!
Luke Skywalker.
I'm your father. Doesn't he say something like
Yeah,
that?
it's Luke
Let's
Skywalker. No, it's Luke Skywalker. You had it. Oh.
Ugh.
I did a test. It was negative.
First test you ever failed.
He's a fucking
passed.
idiot!
Or passed, right? Depending on
Yeah, I was kind
your
of. I
interpretation.
was a little freaked out. I hate doing those.
How long are we gonna wait? Are we waiting on them?
Yeah, I don't know where she is. I'm just gonna turn up my instrument for later. Oh, I moved everything around in here. I'd still in place how it needs to be.
I say, look,
I moved
microphones were moved, but I can't tell anything else.
Okay.
That's not right. That's close to right.
All right.
Yep. What the hell? There you go.
All right. I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready. You ready? Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Okay. She said, y'all don't wait on me. All right. Well, we are done waiting on you. Too late for that.
Yeah, no, she can join us. She can join us later after we get started.
Well, she's bringing a good vagina fact. Uh-oh.
I never sounds good when he says that.
Well, the fact
Oh,
is,
no.
fact is, women got them. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
That's
no.
the only fact you need to know, Dr. Scott. I tell you.
Oh, Jesus. Lord help us. Lord help us all.
Well, I don't know what to tell you on that, but that ain't real. That ain't smart, I'll tell you. Well, all right, OC, I'll on the flip flop.
No, stop.
All right, have you good.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it. Oh my goodness. Yes, the puppet time is over. Check, check.
Sibilance, sibilance, sibilance.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's going to get hot as balls in here, like,
Real fucking fast, baby.
real fast.
He's teasing you.
I think I can live with it like that if that does anything for you.
It doesn't.
Okay.
I'm glad I'm starting to cough now.
Sirius XM. It's time for Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve.
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve exacerbating my inevitable woes. I want to take my brain out, blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic echographic and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent to Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in a tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease, so I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve.
It's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio and the longest running show on this channel. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medicine provider who gives me street cred. The whack alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
And I have my partner in all things, Tacey. Hello, Tacey.
Hello.
DNP Carissa is on the way to the Weird Medicine Studios. We're hoping that she will grace us with her presence. If she does, delightful. If she doesn't, that's okay, but we will miss her. She's got some interesting information to impart to us today. Anyway, this is a show for people who would never listen to a medical show on the radio. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347
Pooh Head.
Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcasts, medical news, and stuff you can buy I can't mention contractually. Most importantly, we're not your medical providers. Take everything here with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking it over with your healthcare provider. All right. And check out Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net. And that's about all I've got on that kind of thing. How's everything going over there? It's allergy season.
It is allergy season, and the fall is coming in.
Everyone needs CBD nasal spray,
That's
I guess.
right. To make it through the fall.
Yeah. No, and well, you can check that out at simplyherbals.net. As much as I give Dr. Scott a hard time, that stuff is amazing. I will say that.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right. Tacey, do you have fast facts for today, or Tacey's?
Oh, are we calling
time
them
of-
fast facts
No,
now?
What?
That's Carissa's thing. She has fast vag facts.
No.
Tacey has Tacey's time of
topics.
topics. Do you have any topic time topics?
I do have one.
It's Tacey's time of topics. A time for Tacey to discuss topics of the day. Not to be confused with Topic Time with Harrison Young, which is copyrighted by Harrison Young and Area 58 Public Access. And now, here's Tacey.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Excuse me for sounding like I smoked 7 packs of cigarettes today. I am currently under the weather with allergies.
Yeah, and you tested,
So-
and it's not COVID. And
I tested.
I tested, and it's not COVID. It's, I'm in a meeting today, and I'm just all of a sudden just start hacking in the middle of it, and it's like, golly.
Can't do that anymore.
So I had to show everybody. No, you can't. Everybody looks at you, especially now with the media going, COVID, it's coming back. And it's like, yeah, no shit. So are the other 5 circulating coronaviruses. We'll see. Most likely, this newest variant will be like the other more recent ones. It'll be mostly upper respiratory. There'll be some illness. I do know some people, young people who've gotten it that have had fevers up to 103.
Ooh.
And ended up, some of them gotten treatment, some not. But so maybe a little bit more than just a regular cold, but that's about what influenza does. I had 105 fever with influenza. That was a little freaky when you're 60 years old and you got 105 temp like some
face
damn
is melting off your head.
yeah, some
Yes.
like some little shitty kid. Anyway,
Yeah, you were sick.
yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
well, good.
But I got on the Relenza, which is my favorite. If you can, by the way, this flu season, if you can get the inhaled version of Tamiflu, if you get influenza instead of the pill, highly recommended.
Okay.
A lot of people can't take the pill, and it causes nausea and stuff like that. I've never had any problem with anyone doing the inhaled version, except that they can't figure out how to do it.
Right.
I vomit all over the place on that Tamiflu.
On the Tamiflu, but not on the Relenza, though. And the Relenza's it has a little disc, and you put the disc in there, and then you open this thing, and it's got a spike, and it punctures the little membrane. And then you just inhale it, and then you put it back down, and it advances to the next one. It's not that hard. Apparently, it's a fucking rocket
A
science
little
for
more
some people.
challenging for certain folks.
Well, doing an inhaler is rocket science for some people.
Yes, true.
If you don't do an inhaler correctly, you will not get the benefit from it. And people that don't know what we're talking about multi-dose inhaler. It's a little sort of L-shaped thing. You put your lips around it. And what I see people do is they'll breathe out when they actuate it.
And you're talking about like an inhaler for someone with asthma or something.
Yeah,
along-
or
right.
yeah, just yes, or some condition that's causing them to have bronchospasm, or they need something to open up their airways or decrease the amount of mucus that's being produced, because that's what ipratropium bromide does. And there's lots of different kinds of inhalers, but I'll see people squeeze the inhaler, the medicine comes shooting out, and then they exhale at the same time.
Yep.
Well, look who's
who's
here.
well,
here.
looky.
Miss
Wow.
America.
There you are.
There
Let's
she is.
see if
She is.
do I have her music?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
You got music?
I don't. Yeah.
Oh,
She has
my
music.
God.
I don't have music.
You don't have
topic-
music? I
you
just
have-
played your
just played
music.
That's not my music. That's Time of Topics music.
Your show was better when you had medical questions.
Agreed.
Hey!
Okay. So anyway.
So anyway,
Can you hear with those? Yeah. Oh, yay. Okay, good deal. Because I fixed them.
I can't
Now you'll have to
breathe
turn.
'cause I just ran up the fucking stairs.
You can't. You can't breed.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
Okay. Well, good. Who wants to do that? We got enough people.
You're rude as fuck.
Is that really? Okay, I'm sorry.
Good. Don't breed. Disgusting.
Well, we're glad you're here because we've been building up your fast facts.
And I don't have shit.
Well, you had the thing about the average volume. Anyway, see, I just spoiler alert. Okay.
Don't ruin it, Dr.
So
Steve.
let's talk about inhalers
Tasty,
just
yeah.
for a second. And so the trick with the inhaler is you must do it like you are smoking a joint. You want to suck the medicine down into your lungs, and it's hard to do if you're blowing out at the same time. So this is what you do. Put your lips around it. Start the airflow in, so you're sucking in air, and there is laminar flow going down into your lungs. And then hit the actuator. And don't stop breathing. I see people do that. They start going, and then they hit the actuator, and they stop. And it's a little bit like rubbing your head in a circular motion while patting your stomach. It's hard for some people, but you have to practice it. Keep inhaling. Don't stop. And when you do that, what you're doing is just basically injecting medication into that laminar flow of air going into your lungs, and then you get a good dose. Okay? All right.
A good
Sorry,
hit.
Tace.
Oh,
you
no,
get a
you're
good
fine.
hit.
You're
All right.
fine.
Well, thank you. All right. So what do you got?
Okay, this came from Stacy DeLoach.
Oh, okay. Well, fine.
If somebody's going to do my homework for me, I'm going to let them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, pig kidney xenotransplantation performing optimally after 32 days in human body.
Wow. So they transplanted a pig
Kidney. Yes.
into a human.
Yes. Surgeons at NYU, I don't want to misspell the university.
Langone or whatever.
Langone
Langone.
Health have transplanted a genetically engineered pig kidney.
That's
that
how I pronounce it. Is it
can-
Langone? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Langone.
Okay, Langone.
Well, it continues to function well after 32 days in a man. This man was declared dead by neurologic criteria and maintained with a beating heart on ventilator support.
Okay.
This represents the longest period that a gene-edited pig kidney has functioned in a human and the latest step toward the advent of an alternative, sustainable supply of organs for plantation.
Yeah, that is really the thing. I mean, God bless all the donor services people, but they are really, what's the word I want to use, DNP Carissa? Oh, boy. The donor services
Who's taking
folks,
that, man?
the donor services folks, they're very aggressive.
Okay.
And they are and they've got a certain way they want things said. They don't want anyone, even if we've been doing this for 30 years, they don't want us mentioning that they're even coming to people. And which I don't play that way, because I'm not going to tell someone, well, we have to wait 2 hours to, do your, get your loved one off the ventilator. For what?
Right.
And I can't mention that the donor services are coming, so it needs to be
I
part
always
of it.
do.
I know. But they get mad. But it would be nice if we could just do away with that, wouldn't it? And so they do editing on these kidneys.
Yes.
Probably because they put IT''S when they meant ITS. Or Y-O-U-R instead of Y-O-U''RE. But anyway.
What? Okay, this is the 5th time this was performed, and this work demonstrates that a pig kidney with only one genetic modification and without experimental medications or devices can replace the function of a human kidney for at least 32 days.
What's so they did a single edit? What did they do? Does it say
Okay.
what the edit was?
It's talking about removing this troublesome gene that shows promise. The first hurdle to overcome in this is preventing a so-called hyperacute rejection.
Correct.
Which typically occurs just minutes after an animal organ is connected to the human.
I've said that on
By
Saturday
knocking
night. Let's get
out
rid of these troublesome genes.
the gene, by knocking out this gene that encodes the biomolecule known as alpha-gal, which has been identified as responsible for a rapid antibody-mediated rejection
Is
of
it
pig
alpha
organs.
galactosidase?
It just says alpha-gal.
Okay.
So immediate rejection has been avoided in all 5 xenotransplantations at this university.
Okay.
The pig's thymus gland, which is responsible for educating the immune system,
Sweetbreads.
was embedded underneath the outer layer of the kidney to stave off novel delayed immune responses.
Oh, now that's interesting.
That's interesting.
So they that's a poor pig.
Yeah. To ensure the body's kidney function was sustained solely by the pig, they removed the transplant's recipient's
Other
native
kidney?
kidneys.
Oh my God.
They were both removed.
Well, that's the right way to do it, though. If you're going to listen, so you've got someone who's brain dead, and instead of doing donor services, these researchers come up and say, hey, would you like to further medical science? Here's what we're going to do. Now, I wonder if they were able. I wonder if they were able to do organ donation after this was
kidneys.
over.
I
Yeah,
don't
of the
know.
the kidneys that they took out. Why couldn't you have those donated?
The pig kidney that was then transplanted started producing urine immediately. During the observation phase, intense care clinical staff maintained the descendant on support while the pig kidney's performance was monitored and sampled with weekly biopsies.
I think that means decedent. In other words, they were
Decedent,
emphasizing at
yes,
the patient
that's what I meant to say.
that they're dead.
Levels of creatinine, a bodily waste product found in the blood, and an indicator of kidney function were in the optimal range during the length of the study.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about creatinine so people understand what we're talking about. That is a molecule that's very efficiently filtered out by the kidney. So your urine should be high in that, but your bloodstream should be low in that.
Okay.
And when your kidneys start to fail, we start to see creatinine start to rise. It rises in a sort of semi-linear fashion, so the higher it is, the worse the kidney function is. So, yeah, go ahead.
So in the
and
United
they were saying that stayed normal. That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
It just
amazing.
talks about how there are more than 103,000 people on the waiting list, with nearly 88% of those waiting for a kidney.
But there's all kinds of fucking pigs out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In 2022, about 26,000 people received a kidney, but nearly 808,000 have end-stage kidney disease. So there just aren't
I
enough
dated
organs.
a few of them
Okay,
pigs there,
that's enough of
Dr.
that.
Steve. I thoroughly did on my
That's
time.
enough. Too many people are dying because of lack of available organs. The kidney and thymus gland used in this procedure were procured from a gal-safe pig.
What?
I don't know what that is.
Gal safe.
Gal
so
safe.
It doesn't have the alpha gal.
So it's an animal engineered by Revivicor Inc.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
In December
They
2020,
figured out a way to make a bunch of money off of this.
The FDA
Because you
approved
can't
the-
sell human organs, but you sure as shit can sell pig organs.
yeah, the FDA approved the
Good.
gal-safe pig as a potential source.
What the hell, though? I mean, could it be a source of other things, too?
Right. Well, and I was just thinking, too.
Hearts.
Yeah. But, a lot of folks will function on one kidney. So
Oh, yeah.
if
No, you just do
one pig kidney,
Yeah.
God, that'd be wonderful.
One pig, get
Two
help.
people. Two people.
Two.
There you
Well,
go.
You're good at ciphering,
you
Dr.
got-
Scott.
and you got that there bacon left over for just in case.
To get you some fat back. For you put that in your beans there. That's good.
Oh God, they used to when they've tried this before, they've done up to 10 genetic modifications, but this only had one single gene modification.
That's amazing. So obviously easier to do 1 than 10.
Is that
Yeah.
saying that we are getting closer to pigs genetically?
No, we always have. When we would do dissections, they would use fetal pigs because
Right.
they're so close to humans as far. Now, the thing is, this is one step. So now you got these gal-free pigs. And you can get hearts, and you can get kidneys, and you can get whatever. Maybe
Bladders.
pancreas.
Bladders.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool, man.
You could get, penis transplant. Well, I got me a hog penis.
Oh,
You know? Well, why not?
Oh, Lord.
So you do all this stuff. And then that is a...
I'm so glad I came to
Aren't you
this.
glad you rushed over
aren't
here?
you though?
I'm just going to tell you, I had 2 hours of sleep last night. I'm goofy AF today. But
Yes.
this is a stepping stone. The next thing we need to be able to do is to grow this stuff in the lab.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing about that. If the pig kidneys and hearts and lungs and all this stuff work well enough, they're going to be a lot cheaper than figuring out how to do human stuff and growing it in the lab with 3D cell printers.
Yes,
So
yes,
it will be
very
a
much.
long effing time.
Yeah.
If this works, this will be our technology for the next 10, 15, 100 years maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because just imagine trying to grow someone's organ with their own markers on it, which obviously is better. You think it would be from scratch from a single stem cell. That's going to be a lot harder to do than to just string some poor old pig up and yank their kidneys out. As long as they can,
or just one kitty maybe.
oh yeah, let them run around.
Yeah,
With
let
them.
them run around.
And to let assuming that these gal-free pigs breed true also.
Oh yeah.
Because that way you can just let them breed.
Right on.
So they're going to monitor
And they become-
this patient for another month
Yeah.
with permission from the family and the ethics committee.
Yeah, of course. The ethics committee would have to be involved. The institutional review board, the family's got to give consent, obviously. So good for
But
them.
could
though.
save thousands of lives.
Sure.
So there you go.
Now there are cells that are used in monoclonal antibodies that were taken from a woman that had cancer, and her family is trying to get some recompense for that.
Right.
Her cells are immortal. They just divide, and they were perfect for making these monoclonal antibodies, and they should get something. The other thing, these families maybe ought to get a little something more than just, well, we'll pay you $1,000 to do this or whatever. They ought to get. I don't know. I mean, what's ethical in this situation? You want to do stuff for pure research, but this corporation is doing it
For-
to develop a technology to make money.
Right.
And without that incentive, a lot of this stuff wouldn't get done. So I'm okay with them making a profit off of it, but they really need to, give the family some stock or something, stock options or something.
That'd be nice of them to do.
So that down the road, when this becomes standard of care and they're a $1 trillion corporation, the family can cash out. But anyway, all right. Got anything else on that,
Nope,
Taste?
that
That was a
concludes-
good one.
That's a good
I
one,
think you
Taste.
get a bill on that.
Give thyself a bell.
Did I get a bill on that?
With an assist from Stacy Deloach, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
Scorn and defiance. Slight regard.
Anyway, all right. Shut up, Shakespeare. Now, DNP Carissa, you were opening something there last time.
Uh-oh.
And that was for you, just so you know, just so you weren't just opening things.
This is mine now.
Yeah. This is the headache remedy that we were talking about last time. And so I bought one, and it looks like one of those things that you clean lenses with. It's got a little syringe.
What the hell is it?
It's got a syringe and a little thing at the end that you stick in your ear. Now, is there instructions with it, or do you have to?
I remember talking about that.
You have to go online to get the instructions because I hate when they do that to you. That's the instructions.
There's instructions on it, or you can scan the QR code.
Do you have
Insert
we're not going to say
below.
their brand name, but what it is it's sold online as an inexpensive headache relief thing, and what it's supposed to do is take the quote unquote pressure off. Except what it's doing is taking the pressure out of the external canal of the ear, which is usually not where the headache is, unless you have maybe if you had eustachian tube dysfunction. But even in that case, eustachian tube dysfunction meaning that you have a caved-in eardrum because there's decreased pressure in the middle ear.
Right.
And but even then, I wouldn't think this would fix it because the fix for that is to blow your nose
And equalize the pressure.
and equalize the pressure. In
yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about last.
Yeah, we were talking about last time. Somebody called
I could
in.
see it working on an airplane, but not.
I don't even see it working on an airplane,
maybe.
to be honest with you. But they had a lot of anecdotal evidence on there. I didn't see any
Ooh, it feels so good.
I mean, we can use it to clean our lenses on our cameras.
Or
and
your
stuff,
computer
or computer
keyboard.
But you don't happen to have a headache right now, do you?
I do not.
Okay. Will you take it with you? And when you do have a headache, try it.
Yeah.
And then let us know. That will be anecdotal evidence. And even if it doesn't work, they can say, well, that's anecdotal. But it just, the one thing is, if you buy the damn thing, it's cheap. You know, it's not like they're selling it for $120. And then you get it, and it's a little bulb syringe with a thing on it.
Isn't that wild? Yeah, it looks like a bulb syringe.
Uh-oh.
I mean, yeah.
Uh-oh. This is, hang on. Let's see. Hello? Hello? Are you there?
Oh, God.
Every time.
Yep.
I get those spam calls, and they start going, well, Mom, this is Medicare calling. And it's like, well, honey, I'm just... And she starts a-talking, telling them about the vittles that she ate that day and that she's not good at ciphering and et cetera, and bing, click, and they just hang up because they know they're not getting a penny out of her. Anyway.
Good stuff.
Okie doke. Where were we? Okay, so you've got that. There's also another package there from your fans at Micro Moog Fest that I would not open now.
Okay.
All right. You guys want to take some questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Number one thing, don't take advice from some asshole on the radio.
All right, my friend. Here we go.
Hi, Dr. Steve. Hi,
Hello.
Dr. Scott.
What's up?
How are you guys doing?
Terrible.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's too bad. I had a question about exogenous oral ketones.
Okay.
I just can't find any straight information on my own. Was hoping you could steer me in the right direction. Are they bullshit or do they work? Thanks. I'll hang up and take your answer off the air.
Okay. What's going on?
I was waiting for the sputum that she spewed out when she was coughing.
I coughed into my shirt.
Oh.
Well, that's the most hygienic way to do it up here in this
I guess
little room.
yeah, you're not wrong.
You got a point.
I mean,
I had no idea what was happening.
I didn't either. I thought one of you guys passed flayed us and you weren't telling us.
Oh, no. I was just being ugly to taste.
Okay.
well, I mean, I don't blame you, Scott.
Yeah.
Lord and Lady Douchebag.
All right.
It's not like we're not in close quarters here.
This guy is asking about exogenous ketones. So, DNP Carissa, you want to talk a little bit about ketones and their function in the body and all that kind of stuff?
No.
Okay, that'd be a no. So, thank you. So, when you are starving, your body will burn fat. And when it burns fat, it produces these things called ketone bodies. And basically what they are products of lipolysis or otherwise, or in other words, fat breakdown. When you break down fat, you produce these ketone bodies. Don't worry what they are so much. They are a specific form of an organic chemical molecule, which I made in the lab when I was an organic chemist, and I made a lactone once, and it kicked everybody's ass. So that was cool. Anyway,
do you want to give yourself a bell?
No, thank you. I already did. I published it in the Journal of Organic Chemistry. Thank you very much.
Oh my God! Highfalutin.
So what happens is when you're on, say, a low-carb diet, people will call these, ketotic diets, or I'm in ketosis because they're producing ketones, right? Okay. And so people go, well, if I'm producing ketones, maybe if I take ketones by mouth, that will help me lose weight. And so the question always happens with these things. It's true of any medicine. If someone said, well, is aspirin good? Does aspirin work? Well, for what?
Yeah, depends.
Does it work for diabetes? No. Does it work to reduce mortality during a heart attack? Yeah. Does it work to prevent cancer in people, particularly with familial polyposis? Hell yeah, it does. But does it prevent rickets? No. So you gotta. What's your endpoint? So this guy just said, well, ketones work. So I'm going to assume that what he's talking about is it good for weight loss? And what they found is that there are some human studies that taking ketones by mouth rather than producing them internally can actually lower blood glucose and improve some aspects of cognitive function, actually make you more alert and oriented and stuff like that. And so there might be some benefit in things like type 2 diabetes or dementia or something like that.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And but a lot of people will tell you when they're on a ketotic diet or Atkins type or low carb diet that they feel more alert and more energetic, and it may actually be not just the lowering of the blood sugar and leveling out of the insulin levels. It could be the ketones that you're producing may actually have some sort of beneficial effect.
Okay.
So it's interesting, isn't it? And DNP Carissa, you changed your hair. It looks quite lovely.
Thanks.
Yeah. I haven't seen you in a while, so no, it looks good.
Did it purple?
Yep, sort of purple.
Sort of purple.
Yeah, it's not, well, it just, it doesn't look purple from here, but.
Rude.
Well, I'm sorry. Does it look purple?
I think it may be the lighting. I
Is
can
it the
tell
lighting?
that it's purple.
Okay,
Yes.
I can't tell. All right. So, yeah, we've.
It's pretty purple.
Is it?
Oh my God, it's
now
way
there
purple
it's
now.
purple.
Now, oh my God, it's so purple now.
Well, I've seen you when you had it like bright purple.
Yeah,
so.
well, that was done professionally. I did this myself.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
I am not a professional in any matter.
All right. Okay. So anyway, anything else on exogenous oral ketones?
No.
Okay. This call is from 2021. I'm finally clearing out some of the old phone calls. Good Lord.
Hi, Dr. Steve. This is Phil from Tampa. I was calling because I just listened to the most recent episode you put out today. Today is the 26th of August.
26th of August,
2023.
2021. No, 2021.
And I just want to call and say I understand your frustration about talking about COVID all the time, but for me personally, your voice has really been an anchor in this tidal wave that seems to be COVID.
Okay, so I had a shitty day today, so I'm playing this to make
you feel
myself
better.
Yes.
Prepare
I
the
have
bell.
really depended on you, whether for good or bad, to provide relevant and factual and honest information. Admittedly, I was a little disappointed with the Stacey thing, but I have certainly been in a position where friends can kind of, put you in a weird position. But I just want to call and say thank you for everything that you've done during this year and a half. And God forbid the pandemic goes on longer and longer. I would hope to rely on you for more. But my question is if you decide to scale back on talking about COVID,
yes,
what are some sources of news that you trust, implicitly?
Okay.
Or at least as close to implicitly as you can. I visit covid.statlabs.com regularly, and I'm glad to hear that our sub-T website's coming back. But if there's anything else that you could recommend, a news source, a site, whatever.
Yeah, for just medical news, I'm Alex Jones. Who are these podcasts? No, I like. Medscape is decent. What medical websites you guys follow? Anything? Just follow me on Twitter. I'll tell you what's what. You guys don't bother looking at anything.
I don't follow anything.
I think a lot of the journals are pretty solid, but they're not always user friendly necessarily.
Yeah, there's up to date, but it's
PubMed's always pretty reliable.
PubMed is great. Well, it's reliable in the sense that it presents articles to you that are in the medical literature without putting any commentary on them.
Right.
So the articles are just as they are. Now, if the person fudged the data or something, you have to be pretty savvy to pick up on that. You can if you've been around the block a few times, you can pick out studies that are crap, but there's no commentary. So if you want unbiased commentary on, or no commentary whatsoever on published articles in the medical literature, yeah, PubMed.gov, you can't beat it.
Right on.
And people go, well, I ain't going to .gov. It's not. It's just, it's the National Library of Science. Yes, it is funded by the government, but this is one of those things that's actually okay.
So that question, though, is relevant today with all the COVID stuff in the news.
Yes.
So where would you recommend people go? I mean, are you
To
just
find
saying,
out if it's bullshit or not, or what's
just
important
to
and
keep
what
up
isn't.
just with COVID? Where would you recommend that they go?
Oh,
are you still saying just PubMed?
No. No, I mean, Scott was just talking about an unbiased place to get medical news. And I still think for the layperson, Medscape is decent. It hasn't been overrun with a lot of commentary. The CDC, if you know how to filter out some malarkey, is pretty good.
Okay.
One of the things with the CDC, they published the data, and it's like, how clueless are you? Where they said only 6% of people who died in the hospital actually had a COVID diagnosis. It's like what they were commenting on how poorly people fill out death certificates, because they were looking at death certificates. So, for example, DNP Carissa, if you have someone that dies of, let's say they have COVID-19, they come in with viral pneumonia and hypoxia, low oxygen, and then they have a pulmonary embolism, and then they have a cardiac arrest, and then they die. How would you code that in a death certificate?
Cardiopulmonary arrest.
Due to?
Respiratory failure.
Due to?
Pulmonary embolism.
Due to?
COVID.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the proper way to do it. You don't just put COVID-19 as the diagnosis. And so people were like, well, only 6% of death certificates actually say that's because most doctors don't know how to code a death certificate properly.
Okay.
I see this all the time. When I was medical examiner, it was unbelievable what people would put on those things, because they're not really trained to do that. We're trained to keep our patients alive. They don't really talk about, well, what do you do when they die?
Sense.
Yes, for Kay Dunning-Kruger, for people like you who have IQs of 100 and 180 something, it is common sense. It's not common sense for the run-of-the-mill person, even who have gone through medical school. So that's part of the problem. But the CDC will have data on there. If you don't trust them, that's okay. Come here. You know that we're going to evaluate the data and look at it and try to give the most unbiased information that we can if it becomes a thing again. I made several statements during the beginning of the pandemic and throughout the pandemic, and most of the stuff that I said, I am patting myself on the back a little bit, ended up being correct because we looked at the data and didn't look at people's opinions. One of the things that I said in the beginning, fuck off. It's a DNP, Chris, and making faces at me. One of the things that I said during the pandemic that was incorrect was, in early days, I said most people won't get it, and most people who do get it won't die. Now, the second part of that was correct, but the first part, it turned out to be incorrect, but we weren't. When I said that, we were still in OG COVID, and OG COVID had a basic reproductive number that said that if we just did a couple of things, that it would die out, just like SARS and MERS did. But instead, it mutated and became the piece of shit, endemic coronavirus that we have today. So anyway, all right. So it's a tough one. It is tough. There is a what is the name of that app that I found? And what it does is it's called Ground News. It's free.
Okay. Ground News.
And what Ground News does is they will categorize something as being far right, far left, or in the middle.
Okay.
And they'll, hang on, sorry. Sorry, everybody. Okay. This is why we can't do live shows or have nice things. Okay. So, for example, I'm looking at this app right now, and it's free. And you can say, I just want to see COVID-19 news, but here's an article that says DOJ charges 371 people, launches new COVID fraud strike force. And it is 46% of the articles in here are on the left, 46% in the center, and then 8% on the right. Okay? And so if you want to read the right wing side, you can click on that, or you can just click on the center. And these people seem to be pretty decent at categorizing things as right, center, or left. And I don't want my news to be either one, but I'll listen to Jimmy Dore, who is as far left as you can get, and then listen to Anthony Brian Logan, who's pretty far on the right. And I try to listen to all kinds of stuff and then synthesize it myself. But if you don't have the time to do that, then something like Ground News, you can just pick center and then just go with it. And you'll know what the truth is over time. And, people got, if we're talking about COVID, people got crapped on for doing their own research. No, that was the right thing to do. Anyone that crapped on somebody for doing their own research, they're not scientists, they're not physicians. But it's okay to, before you take a blood pressure medicine, to go do your own research. See if it's something that you want to take. What about the adverse effects? Dr. Scott will say if more people did that, he'd be seeing fewer people.
That's right.
So I think it's perfectly okay to do that. Why would we tell people? It's anti-intellectual to say, well, you can't do your own research. We say that about everything except this particular virus.
That's the purest form of controlling your environment. Yeah.
Correct. And it's the purest form of control to tell people that they need to stay ignorant.
Yep.
So I have your
Ew.
Yeah. What about ignorance?
Mm-hmm.
You don't like ignorance.
You don't like
No, who the fuck likes ignorance?
Ew.
We ain't got no time for that.
Ew. Nobody has time for
Hey,
ignorance.
Dr. Steve, I've got a question about my eyes. I was snorkeling the other day, and the conditions weren't very good, so my eyes were unfocused.
Yes.
And we're looking at, like the light blue and then the sand. The field of vision was very light. So my eyes were unfocused, and I kept seeing, it almost looks like I want to say it looks like a film on my eye. It also looks like I'm looking at like a bacteria, long-strain bacteria under an electron microscope.
Yep.
And it's almost like a long hair that moves.
Yep.
And it also, I guess you could say, it looks like the heat coming off of a jet engine, like at an airport. I'm just wondering what that is, if it's healthy. I've heard people talking about floaters, and I don't really know what that is, but just wondering if it's normal or if it's healthy or if it's something I should look into. Thanks.
Well, okay. So, do you guys know what he's talking about? Because
I was gonna say floaters.
It's
That's
floaters.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, very
too.
good. Okay, so everybody gets a bell.
Give thyself a bell.
Yes. I'm still one behind.
That's right.
So the reason he saw them is because his eyes were unfocused. I'll see them if I look at certain, if I look at a microscope, because my eyes are focusing differently.
Yes.
I would have been a terrible histopathologist because my eyes are full of floaters, and we'll talk about why in a second. But so there is debris on the inside of your eye, and that vitreous humor, as we get older particularly, the vitreous, which is a gel-like substance that's optically pretty clear, will sometimes shrink and pull away from the retina. And when it does that, it's called a vitreous detachment. And all kinds of cells and stupid stuff will float into or will flood into the space between the now vitreous that's no longer attached to the retina and the retina, and it's just got fluid in there.
Right.
And those things are actually cells and little bits of debris broken. It could be rods from your retina that are just floating around in there. And light will pass through the eye and then hit one of those and cast a shadow on the retina. And that's what you're seeing. It could look like little red blood cells, and it might actually be. I have those. And then
looks
little
like the worms,
squiggly things,
little
and,
worms,
and if you move your eyes, you can see them shoot up, and then you'll see them sort of float back down again.
Right. Kind of suspended in that fluid.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
And it's actually backward. When they injected stuff into my eye, steroids into my eyeball, it actually floated to the bottom, and I saw it in the top of my vision because it's upside down.
Yeah.
Remember the eye, the eye flips the image, and then the body turns it back around again. The brain. Sorry, what did I say? The body.
Yeah.
Well,
we know what you mean.
It's part of the body.
Yeah, it's part of the body.
But yeah, the brain flips it over, and goes, that's upside down. So so that's what that is. Those are floaters. Now, if you have sudden onset of floaters, like I did, that is most likely a vitreous detachment. You're looking up at the sky, and all of a sudden it just fills up with floaters. If you have lightning, like light, lightning is a good way, flashes of light, especially when you turn your eye a certain way or anything like that, you may have a retinal detachment. So go get seen.
Go get it checked out
by a good ophthalmologist, and they'll look in there and see. Now, what happened to me is that I had the vitreous detachment, and 2 days later, my eyesight went from 20/20 to 2200, and that detachment actually caused inflammation in my eye. I had a thing called posterior uveitis, which is why if you go to youtube.com/@weirdmedicine and scroll down, you can see them injecting shit into my eyes, and it is steroids. I had to have that done multiple times.
God, how long? That's been almost 20 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, we were still
been a long time.
We were still in Rogersville when it started.
I was gonna say it's been a long time.
And we were still in that other town, that little town in Upper East Tennessee.
What time is it? We need to change that.
43:54. We were
in a little town.
In a little town in Upper East Tennessee, and I saw the optometrist there, who then sent me to an ophthalmologist, who then sent me to the retinal specialist. But if you go there, you can. The one video I've got with 300,000 views on it. I can't monetize because it's a medical procedure. Is my ophthalmologist taking a sty out of my eye? It had turned into a chalazion. You remember we talked about those, where the sty will scar down. It makes a little fibrous thing. It makes a lump in your eyelid that you can't get rid of, and they have to go in and cut it out and scoop it out. It's way fun. 300,000 views on that. And then we talk about actual COVID-19 all during the pandemic. I think the most I ever got was 1,000 views.
Oh, I know.
We do try to, the video thing is kind of on the DL, so we don't push it. But
right.
We get all
unless
of
you're getting big shots in your
We're
eyes.
still a radio show.
You want to make people gross.
Yeah, well, we're still a radio show. We just do the video thing because Rob Sprance a long time ago told us we had to. Anyway, but we enjoy hanging out with the Fluid family. Now, Nick Illig in the Fluid family, which, by the way, if you want to hang out in the waiting room, go to
join the Fluid family.
That's correct. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine, but also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then when we go live, you can listen to it live and watch us because, well, boy, we look so amazing. Well, Carissa and Tacey do, but Scott and I mean, he's got a man bun, for God's sake.
Yes.
But anyway.
So do I.
Well, when on you, it's not a man bun. If you, and then you can ask questions in the waiting room. And so Nick Illig, who is brother to Mike Illig, who is a.k.a. Captain Mike. Check him out at avidangling.com. But he says, if Steve is taking questions from the chat, I'd be interested in how he is enjoying Provigil. So I wouldn't say enjoying is exactly the word. So I take Provigil. It is now generic. It used to be $800 a month. Now it's way cheaper and covered by insurance. And it is a drug called modafinil, which they use, from what I hear, and we got to get Dr. Jesse in here, the guy. What was he? He was a ranger, right? Army Ranger. He was an undercover guy. He was there at Tora Bora when that was all going down. Anyway, DNP Carissa, that was the first guy I was going to try to hook you up with from the radio show, was Dr. Jesse.
Poor thing.
So glad.
But anyway, well, you're single, they're single. You know, I'm always, Tacey will tell you, I'm always trying to hook up my single friends with people, and you know, I'm sometimes successful, sometimes not. Well, anyway,
Most of the time, not.
no, they're always a good match. It just doesn't work out for reasons that we're not going to talk about on the show, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So anyway, so what the fuck was I talking about?
Something.
Provigil.
Oh, Provigil, yeah. So we'll have to ask Dr. Jesse about that. But what I hear is that the military will use this drug when they're on patrol or whatever, and they've got to be up for 36 hours. They call them go pills. Now, that could be apocryphal. It could be a bunch of crap, but that's what I've heard. I could imagine it, though, because what it does is it improves executive function. It is a so-called nootropic or nootropic, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And it improves mental quickness, but awake alertness is the big thing, without making you feel like a goof. And I have narcolepsy, and the problem is I've got an hour and a half drive to one of the clinics that I go to, and I was falling asleep on the way home from there. And so my sleep doctor put me on this Provigil. I really like it. It works a lot better if I don't take it every day, for me. Because if I take it every day, I get like this. And then I couldn't sleep last night. I slept 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes to be precise. And you know, I'm a weirdo, and I get, you know, I'm emotionally
unhealthy, old buddy.
I'm emotionally dysregulated sometimes, and I say stupid things and all this kind of stupid.
And then you start
bullshit.
talking with puppets, and that's a problem.
This is such a problem.
Speaking of which, no, okay, I won't do that. But
Please.
Yeah, Tacey.
My fault.
Nobody likes the
Thanks.
puppets.
Thanks, Scott.
What
Sorry.
puppet was that?
You
That-
don't want to know.
That was Cletus. He'll be coming out in Detroit with Tukey and Bedabbler, but I hope, if he'll let me. If you want to see something kind of funny, just Google. Oh, now Tacey's shaking her. Okay, forget it. You know what? Fuck it. Just go to our website and I'll put a link there. But there was one of the puppets did something mildly humorous, and I'll be paying for it ever after. Anyway, so yes, Clint, those are floaters. If they're acute, get them checked out. If you get a bunch of them, acutely vitreous detachment. If you get lightning flashes in your eyes when you move them, that is very likely a retinal detachment. Get that checked. Okay?
Right on.
All right. And let's do this one. Let's see here. We've got a couple minutes left.
Steve in the borough.
Hey, man.
I was listening to the Weird Medicine show, although I've been listening to my Patreon show
Excellent.
earlier on a road trip.
Thank you.
And you were talking about healthy vagina wall and lactobacillus, I
Yes.
believe it is. Would there be any value, probiotic-wise, when giving a woman oral treats for the person performing the act? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not sure what the question is. Obviously, we were talking about lactobacillus being the normal vaginal flora, and so when you got lots of lactobacillus in the vagina, that's a good thing. And I made the point that it's proof that God has a sense of humor, because that's also the same bacteria that makes yogurt into yogurt, and it also makes kombucha into kombucha and other stuff like that. So it's, you know, and you can use plain yogurt as a douche for some women that have bacterial vaginosis. That was an old school thing to do.
Right.
So he's asking.
Yeah, he's asking, I think, if he was eating yogurt or something, if he was eating at the Y, is that what he's saying? Yes. Would there be probiotic benefit to that?
So he's trying to help his partner.
He's trying to help
Well,
his
there
partner
you go.
out.
No, he's trying to help himself.
Oh, no, he's trying to help his partner.
Well, he's trying to help himself. Oh,
no.
He's saying, is there probiotic benefit to him?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there's enough.
No.
There's not enough bacteria there. You need billions and trillions of colonies to really have a probiotic benefit, and you just won't get enough doing the lickety clit. All right. So why am I? Why? What did I say?
No, that's funny. I love it.
Okay, thanks. All right. Well, listen, everybody. Have a wonderful time, and check your stupid nuts for lumps. We'll see you next week for the next edition of Weird Medicine. All right.
Good one.
I gotta go get my boys
Oh, you do?
hmm
Where are they?
real soon.
Okay.
They're at school.
Oh, go. But take that bag with you. That's yours. And take the thing.
I think we can handle it.
I wish we could hang out.
Good. I mean, I didn't contribute anything.
No, you did. Yeah, you're
You were
funny.
very helpful.
You're
Very
funny.
helpful.
Making fun of me is
So helpful.
is plenty.
And you,
Where are they?
Sorry. They're at school. I call it school.
Which
They go to
one?
School now.
Which one do they go to?
Oh my God, the Troyalty podcast. Yes. Oh, they sent me a private message. I just saw this.
who do you take to?
Okay.
Who do
Sorry.
you take to? Who do you take it to?
Barkbound. It's like right across the street from
Go get those babies.
Yeah, I will, because they won't hold them.
Yeah. Go.
I don't know what the fuck they'll do.
I'm sorry we can't hang out,
Throw
but
them out on the street.
it's been so long. We need to catch up. We haven't seen you in forever, so come over. We'll hang out. Okay. All right. Thanks for coming. Bye. Okay,
Bye.
Cece.
Don't
Have a
let
good
the
one,
kitty
honey.
cat escape.
Be
She's
careful.
been
That's
trying
right.
to escape.
Yeah. Watch out for the kitty cat. That's
No,
okay. You
that's
don't.
okay.
She can't unlock it. I mean, yeah. Thanks, honey. Bye. Let's answer this question from Troyalty. It's a great question. He or she said, I asked on Twitter, but I don't think you thought I was serious. I didn't see it on Twitter, I promise. And Scott is supposed to be monitoring that stuff, but since I think you DM'd it directly to me, he didn't see it. So, all right, let's do it. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Taste.
Okay.
Roll, baby.
All right. So before we go, we've got another question, I think, from the Fluid family. Dr. Scott, the Troyalty podcast.
Oh, cool.
Google Troyalty podcast. See what they do. And Scott will do that, Taste. You don't have to do it. It's like royalty except with a T. It says, I asked on Twitter, but I don't think you thought I was serious. Well, you're on Twitter. So probably I didn't, but that's okay. I answer all facetious questions seriously anyway. It says, could the digestive tract be rerouted so that you shit from your heel? Now, that's a fascinating question because we've talked about this before, that there's a reason why the mouth and the ass are as far away from each other as you can get without... the mouth being on the top of the head, basically. That'd be the only way they could be any farther away from each other. But they're, from a practical sense, they're as far away from each other as they could be and still be in the torso.
Right.
And the reason that they're not in the legs and stuff like that is because embryonically the digestive tract starts from the top and the bottom of the little pre-embryo, and then everything sort of forms around it. Then you get the neural tube, and all those things have to go together. And then the GI tract, as it grows, it will get curly because because it's growing length, but there's internal length, but not external length. So it has to get all like a roller coaster. But the limbs kind of form separate from that, and they're not on that part of the embryo. So you couldn't attach the asshole to the bottom of the foot. Now, Could you do it, though? Could you? Is there anything preventing that from actually being done? And the answer is no. I mean, the physics of the universe would allow it.
Gravity would help.
You would have to do a whole lot of hollowing out of things, like, moving muscles out of the way, because the muscles of the leg, and particularly the knee, the knee
hinge
itself,
joint,
the joint of the knee would kink off any sort of tube that was put there, as long as it was something like the colon. So, but could it be done in theory? Yeah. So if you fixated the knee so that it couldn't bend anymore, and then you routed and loosened up all of the small bowel and the large bowel, and then worked it out of the anal area, down the leg and into the heel. Yes, you could shit out of your heel. It could be done.
Probably would need a bag, because you wouldn't have any
be able
tone,
to control it.
But yeah, it could be done.
Our future selves could engineer people that, if they wanted to, why would you want to? Because it does make it farther away from the mouth, because that's what you want. You don't want turds or turd particles getting into the upper GI tract.
Something.
But go ahead.
Well, just something. I don't know how similar this is.
Just from a thought experiment. Yes, it could be done.
Well, yeah, but think about what they've been able to do with like head trauma with fluid in the brain, or somebody's got fluid building up, brain running a shunt from the head all the way down through the neck and through the torso and into the stomach, where the fluid.
Yeah, you're talking
drain.
about fluid from the brain, or people that have increased pressure in the brain. Yeah, you can do that.
So not exactly the same, but kind
Troyalty Project says, yes, my dream lives on. And who needs knees if you can shit without taking your pants off? And you know what? I'm gonna have to give my bell to that.
A bell.
What were you gonna say, Tace?
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's right. Who needs knees?
Well,
you can just shit with your pants on. Okay, well, very good. Well, we do. Are you on the Troyalty Project's website?
Not yet.
Or podcast? Why not? Okay, now I'm going to have to go there. Troyalty Podcast. There they are.
It's a weekly podcast available on YouTube and all major platforms every Monday morning.
Okay, all I found was royalty, so I don't see this Troy.
They're two old friends from Troy, New York. They've ended up in completely different parts of the
there
country.
It is. Yep.
But still catch up each week to
Matt Klein and Chris Sousis, or Sousis, friends from Troy, New York. I wonder if they know my ex-wife's kids. That's very interesting, because they live in Troy as well. Okay, well, cool. All right, boys.
Guys.
72 posts. And check them out. I don't know anything about it, but one of the things, they've got tits on some of their. Oh no, I don't like that one though. Ew.
Don't say it. Don't.
But
say
this is pretty cool. They do a different cover for every podcast, whereas ours are all the same. They told me it had to be the same, or people couldn't find it on Apple. Now that I think about it, that's stupid. So good for them. They actually take 2 minutes to do something, actually do some work. So good for them. Oh, number 70, country music is not heterosexual. Well, what? Okay. Okay, we're going to have to check this out. These boys may be inappropriate.
There you go.
Maybe naughty.
It's a great question, though. And yes, you can use that on... Oh, I see what happened. You can definitely use the audio on your show if you want to. I don't know why you'd want to, but anyway. All right, are we ready to get out of here?
Yes, we
Did you have
are.
anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Dr. Scott. Thank you, Tacey. Thank you, DNP Carissa. Thanks to everyone who's made this show happen over the years. Listen to our SiriusXM show. Faction Talk channel, SiriusXM channel 103, Saturdays at 7 p.m. Sunday, I don't know. It seems to change. It's okay. But so listen to it on demand. That's the best way to listen to it. And other times at Jim McClure's pleasure. If you have SiriusXM, you have the online app. The satellites are going to come out of the sky at some point. Learn how to use the on-demand app. It's better. And it really helps us out with SiriusXM. Many thanks to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Go to our website at drsteve.com for schedules, podcasts, and other crap. Don't forget to check out Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps. Quit smoking, get off your asses, and get some exercise. We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine. Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody. Well. All right. Okay, Myrtle. I'll put the link to Myrtle's thing. I need to remember to do that. Okay. You ready to start?
Yep.
Okay, and then we'll do this real quick.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
He's a fucking idiot.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by two really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to?
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic echographic and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent to Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease. So I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve!
From the world famous Bedabbler Studios, it's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio, now a podcast. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medicine provider. Gives me street cred for wacko alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
Shit. Fucking shit, sorry. That just came out of nowhere. Hold on. Sorry. I should have taken a breathing treatment before we did this. I've been really good for about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
All right. Sorry, everybody. Try that again.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Can you, shut up?
He's a fucking idiot.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by two really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to.
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic, echographic, and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent of Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease, so I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve!
From the world-famous Bedabbler Studios, it's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio, now a podcast. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott. The traditional Chinese medicine provider gives me street cred with the wacko alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
My partner in all things, Tacey. Hello, Tacey.
Hello.
DNP Carissa will be along directly. This is a show for people who never listen to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you got a question, you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider. If you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call, 347-766-4323. That's 347-POOHEAD. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine or at DrScottWM. Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcast, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything here with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking over with your healthcare provider. All right, very good. Please don't forget Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net, and check out stuff.drsteve.com for all your Amazon needs. Helps keep my kids in college. So go buy your back-to-school supplies at stuff.drsteve.com. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/weirdmedicine. We did a group live stream the other day, and that was loads of fun to do at patreon.com/weirdmedicine. We have lots of tiers. And we've got one where you can just get archives of everything. And it's one where you can just hang out and do whatever you want to do. Patreon.com/weirdmedicine. It is all exclusive content. And then Cameo. Oh, we've got to do a Cameo today. Cameo.com/weirdmedicine, where I can say fluid to your mama and all that kind of stuff. Okay? And it's cheap. Unbelievably cheap. Embarrassingly cheap, Dr. Scott. All right?
I like it.
All right, let me save this, and then let's do that Cameo. What am I saving it as? What's the date today?
23/8/23/23.
Oh, 8/23/23.
Yep.
Broadcast.
Should be 8/26/23.
8/26/23. Yeah, then we'll get back on schedule again.
Cool.
Okay. All right, there we go.
Cool, man.
Oh, yeah, let's do the Cameo. I think this guy wants us to make small penis jokes about his friend. And I don't think that's no laughing matter. Or small testicles.
Oh.
Small testicles, okay.
Yeah. Testicles don't really count.
No.
It's kind of sag and hurt when you get punched in them.
Okay. Maybe I should do a Myrtle puppet.
Oh, that would be even better.
Yep. All right, what's a good family name? What would her maiden name be? All them,
I don't know.
what's a good, all the stout kin?
I was thinking something like the Joneses. Or
No, it's got to be more.
benign.
Does she need a last name?
Well, her last name is Manus, but she's got to have she's got to have family, extended family that have a different name. All them,
It's a little hot up here.
okay.
Manuses.
Well, she is a Manus.
Well, I'm sorry, Hellfire.
Why am I having trouble with this? Slaughters. All them slaughters.
There you go.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Well, hello, Thomas Parr from your old friend Mike. Says he's your friend. I'm not so sure that's true. It says this is not for a special occasion. It's just a roast. And the roast topic is tiny testicles. Now, wait a minute. People can have tiny testicles from taking hormone replacement therapy, right?
Yes, sir.
If you want to preserve testicular size, when you have low testosterone, they may put you on a medication called Clomid or clomiphene, which actually causes the testicles to make testosterone themselves. But if you take testosterone replacement therapy because your doctor said you had low testosterone, then you may end up with smaller testicles. And that just means you're quite the manly sort because you're taking testosterone, right? Always take it as prescribed, though. And Thomas said that he wanted to follow up with you and let you know you have the tiniest testicles the medical field has ever documented. Oh no, he wanted me to say that. Oh, I can't say that because I've not actually examined Thomas, Mike. Sorry, that would be your diagnosis. Well, but we have a guest here. There's Dr. Scott. Whoop, there's Dr. Scott.
Howdy.
There's old Taste back there.
Hello.
Hello, Taste.
Hello, tiny testicle man.
Hey, one good. Hey,
well, I'm going to tell you, he's got them small testicles. Well, the slaughter, all my kin are slaughters, and they all have tiny testicles too. Sometimes it just runs in the family, don't you know?
Hey, the good news about tiny testicles makes your penis look bigger.
Well, you're right about that. And sometimes what we do is when we take a hog and we put a rubber band around their testicles and they run off, and their testicles they just fall off. Well, you ain't seen nothing like it, but it's good eating though. It surely is good eating. We call them mountain oysters, and with a little taste of corn squeezins and some possum gravy, you can't get nothing better than that. You surely can't. So don't worry about your tiny testicles. At least somebody ain't put a rubber band around them and they done fall off. Woo! Can you imagine? Doc? Can you imagine that? No, I surely can't, Myrtle. Can you imagine?
Nope.
Can you imagine? Poor old hogs. We were talking about hogs on the show today. They just do everything to them. Anyway, all right, Thomas, listen, I don't know if you have any idea who we are. I think your buddy Mike does. So I will say I hope you have a week that is filled with fluid and secretions, but only those untainted by human pathogens. And if you actually have small testicles and you think there's something wrong with them, get them checked out. You're supposed to check your stupid nuts for lumps, but also your primary care should be checking them to make sure that they're okay. So let us know. All right, appreciate it, man. And Thomas says you have tiny baby nuts, so not sure why he knows that. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike says that. Mike says that about Thomas. I'm confused.
Yes.
All right, I'll see you later. Thanks.
Bye.
See you, dude.
All right.
Do you want this on or off?
Off.
That was ridiculous. All right. Thank you, honey. You all right?
Yeah.
We gonna play that?
That don't hang on the same hook too long. Ears can't sound the same old song. If I can get in the right key.
I'll play it.
Yeah. The hat don't hang on the same hook.
Ah, shit.
Oh, shit.
That's all right. I rearranged the studio and I didn't do a very good job.
Hat don't hang on the same nail too long. The ears can't stand to hear the same old song.
Oh, I see what happened.
I can't leave the highway long alone. Get all down in the mud. I've got rambling fever in my blood. I don't know know if I can. Is that my? I don't know if I can do it in that key.
Yeah, that's right.
It sounds right on the guitar, but I don't know if my voice does.
It does. Sing it down an octave. Try it singing down an octave.
My hat don't hang on the same nail too long.
There you go. Just speak it.
Okay. My hat don't hang on the same. I've got rambling fever in my blood. Got this rambling fever long ago. When I first heard Lonesome Whistle blow. Everyone heard I gave a damn sure got me wrong. I've got rambling fever all along. Let's do the rambling fever. Kinda can't be measured by degrees. Rambling fever. Ain't no kind of cure for my disease. Times I'd like to lay down in my bed. Let some pretty lady rub my back. Spend early morning drinking coffee. Talking about when I'll be coming back. There you go. No woman tie me down. I'll never get too old to get her DDD round. Gonna love the highway not to Broadway like. My hat don't hang on the same nail too long. My ears can't stand to hear that same old song. I don't leave the highway long enough to get bogged down in the mud. I've got rambling fever in my blood. I got that rambling fever long ago. When I first heard that lonesome whistle blow. If anyone ever said I gave a damn sure told you wrong. I've had rambling fever all along. Rambling fever, kinda can't be measured by degrees. Rambling fever, ain't no kind of cure for my disease. There's times I like to lay down on a sofa. Let some pretty lady rub my back. Oh, spend early morning drinking coffee. Don't you wondering when I'll be coming back?
What are you doing?
That thing ain't right. It's a C and then an A minor for some reason. That is not does it the whole fucking thing. So whoever wrote this and transcribed it made an error there, and I played it right through there. Let's go back to there's times I'd like to lay down on a sofa.
You're throwing out the A minor, right?
Yeah, I'm throwing that A minor out. And let some
because that's a passing chord, dude.
Back.
What they're doing is
it's a walk down, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just throwing it out all together, right?
Yeah, you can play it. You can play it.
No.
No, just play. There's times I like to lay down on a sofa. Let some pretty lady rub my back. Spend early morning drinking coffee.
What are you doing? That is not the format of the song.
Buddy, I'm going to tell you right now. It's a D7 first, and then a G, and then a C.
Yeah.
And
But that's
G,
not what you're playing.
And then a C, and then a C, and an
Yeah.
A minor, and then a C, and a G.
Wait, you are playing the A minor, or you're not?
No, what I didn't that time. Spend early morning drinking coffee. Hell, let's play something else.
No. We were playing it fine, and then all of a sudden it shit the bed. So what happened?
Let's just say I'm having a bad day too. So we'll just play
Really?
something else.
Okay.
Let's just
But
play
does the format of the song, does the structure of the song change?
It's changed. Yeah, it's just odd compared to the rest. It's nothing
It does.
like the rest.
So
of
it's supposed to do that.
But I don't know, Steve. I don't know if whoever did it, if I did it right. Let me look
okay.
at version 2. Let me look at version 2.
Because I was just wailing along doing, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. So.
All right, so here, okay,
Let me see it.
go
What's
to
the name
version
of the
2.
song?
Go to version 2.
Okay, what's the
Go to
name of the
version 2. It is Ramblin' Fever. Yep. Sorry, guys, I was doing version 1, and that thing was fucking wrong. Go to version 2, please.
Okay.
And that does go straight through.
It
Straight
does?
through,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
So
what-
yeah, I'm sorry. I was just on.
We may want to
on a
listen
bad
to it
version.
and see it, because sometimes they're.
Yeah.
I just didn't know Myrtle to change
Myrtle.
things like that.
No, I didn't
Myrtle.
either. And that's I was trying to do it, and it just felt wrong. Not only felt wrong, but it sounded wrong.
Yeah, well, it was wrong.
And if I'm giving bad info to go along with my bad singing and my bad playing, it's a terrible.
I'm
result.
looking at it here. Okay, I'm looking at it on classic country songs and lyrics.com, and it never changes its structure the whole way.
No,
through.
I know. So what I did, I went to Ultimate Guitar and went to version 2 instead of version 1. Yeah, version 2 is correct.
I'm just gonna keep playing it.
Yeah. All right, so let's just play it. We'll play it straight
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I was scrolling up. That don't hang on the same nail too long. The ears can't stand to hear the same old song. I had to leave the highway long enough to get bogged down in the mud. I've got rambling fever in my blood. Caught this rambling fever long ago, when I first heard that lonesome whistle blow. I said, if I ever gave a damn, they damn sure told you wrong. I've had rambling fever all along. There we go. Rambling fever, kinda can't be measured by degrees. Rambling fever, ain't no kind of cure for my disease. There's times I'd like to lay down on a sofa, let some pretty lady rub my back, spend the early morning drinking coffee, talking about when I'll be coming back. I don't let no woman tie me down. I'll never get too old to turn around. Wanna dive on the highway and ride away like some old highway pole. Restless rambling fever in my soul. Rambling fever, kinda can't be measured by degrees. Rambling fever, ain't no kind of cure for my disease. That's better. Sorry about that. Dude, I'm telling you, when I read that, and I read it, and I was like, that ain't fucking right. It can't be right.
You did it anyway.
I know what hell, big dummy. I'll tell you the other one I was working on.
Yeah, let's do another one.
Remember that old Sturgill Simpson song? It's called.
Nope. I'm going to tell you that right now.
It's called "You Can Have the Crown."
You Can Have the Crown?
Yeah, go to Sturgill Simpson. You can have the crown. And I'm going to tell you which version I'm looking at.
We need to tell everybody, well, everybody, the 3 people that are still listening, that when we played our gig, it was actually quite successful, because when we play live, we play the songs that we know, not ones that we're trying to learn.
Right.
Can you imagine if we're in the well, Scott, what the hell are you doing?
Scott, you dummy. You big dummy. No, I know. And it 99.9%.
No, it's not true. Sometimes I just don't know the song.
Yeah.
But that one was like...
Oh, we all know it. And
Okay.
that's what was so frustrating. It's like, that is not how this song goes.
Okay, now, what key do you want?
Yeah,
this
let's
in?
go to
It's in
version.
A.
Yeah, let's go to version 1. We'll just play it in A. I can't sing it anyway. I've been spending all my money on weed and bills, trying to have a song that'll pay the bills. Ain't found one yet, so I guess I have to rob a bank. I guess it could be worse, it ain't that bad. At least ain't sitting in old Baghdad in the middle of a hot damn desert, sitting in a tank. Hey, every time my wife talks, a baby gets mentioned. I'm so broke I can't pay attention. Lord, how it tears me up to see her cry. So I'm spending all my time on the internet, looking for a song, but ain't found one yet. Just a bunch of old mobile guitars and other shit I can't buy. Well, Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a damn dog a bone? 'Cause if the devil shows up with a better deal, this old soul will be long gone. I'll sing him real pretty, sing him real sad, and the people in the crowd said it ain't half bad.
Okay.
C sharp, I'm sorry. Yeah,
That's
I
okay.
missed it. That's my fault. I missed it.
Okay. The
It's
chorus is a
A.
little different, so let's start at the top of the choruses.
Yep.
It's just you're just walking up chromatic.
Yep,
That's
yep.
it.
Going A, B, C sharp minor. Yep. So let's go back to.
Okay, well, listen.
You know
Here's D, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're just gonna do B, C sharp, D. Now, if you think about it, it's just the A scale.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You know how to do the A scale?
Yep.
Okay. So you're just walking up the A scale. But you're starting with B.
Yep. So the.
Now, if you just want to go to the D, and I'll do the walk up, that's okay too.
Do the walk up.
Let's do the chorus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Lord,
2, 3, 4.
Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a damn dog a bone? Devil shows up with a better deal, old soul be long gone. I sing him real pretty, sing him real sad, and the people in the sound said it ain't half bad. Well, they call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have a crown. I've been sitting on my ass like a bump on the law, watching old Annie and old Boss Hog. Guess I ought to get up and find myself a job. Instead of sitting on the porch trying to write the next line, that'll be a better use of my time, like figuring out which one of these banks I'm gonna go rob. Hey, Lord, if you... I'm sorry.
No.
Well, the name of the game is hurry up and wait. That ain't putting no food on my plate or gas in my car, and I drive a Bronco. So, Lord, if you can give me a record deal, I might not worry about my next meal, but I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck runs the Bronco. Oh, Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a darn dog a bone? 'Cause if the devil shows up with a better deal, this old soul will be long gone. I sing him real pretty, sing him real sad, the people in the crowd said it ain't half bad. Well, they call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have a crown. Well, they call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have the crown.
Okay, yeah, we need to learn that one.
I love that song. Let's do it. I just love it. The way they wrote it, I don't know who did this either, but
Well, this is right.
yeah, it is right. It was just a little weird. Let's try one more time.
No, this one I could do on the stand-up, easy.
Oh yeah, no, this is when you get on the stand up and just kind of rock to it.
Yeah.
Well, I've been spending all my money on weed and pills, trying to write a song that'll pay the bills, but I ain't got one yet, so I guess I have to rob a bank. I guess it could be worse, ain't that bad. At least I ain't sitting in old Baghdad in the middle of a hot damn desert, sitting in a tank. Well, every time my wife talks, a baby gets mentioned. I'm so broke I can't pay attention. Lord, how it tears me up just to see her cry. So I've been spending all my nights on the internet, looking for a clue, but ain't found one yet. Just a bunch of old mobile guitars and other shit I can't buy. Well, Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a darn dog a bone? 'Cause if the devil shows up with a better deal, this old soul will be long gone. I sing him real pretty, sing him real sad. People in the crowd said it ain't half bad. Well, they call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have a crown. Well, sitting on my ass like a bump on the law, watching old Eddie and old Boss Hog. Guess I ought to get up and find myself a job. Instead of sitting on the couch trying to find the next line, got a better use of my time, like figuring out which one of these banks I'm gonna go rob. Well, the name of the game is hurry up and wait, and that ain't putting no food on my plate or gas in my car, and I drive a Bronco. So, Lord, if you can get me a record deal, I might not worry about my next meal, but I'll still have to try to figure out what the hell rhymes with Bronco. Well, Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a darn dog a bone? 'Cause if the devil throws up with a better deal, this old soul will be long gone. I singing real pretty, singing real sad. People in the crowd said it ain't half bad. Well, they call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have a crown. Well, call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have the crown. There you go. I love that.
Okay, so when we do the
walk up, yep.
We should just stop it though, right?
Yeah, and just hold it. Yep.
Yeah, just
yep,
hold it.
Yep.
So let's do the chorus one more time. Let's do the last chorus. 2, 3,
Well,
4.
Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a darn dog a bone? 'Cause if the devil shows up with a better deal, this old soul will be long gone. I sing him real pretty, sing him real sad. The people in the crowd said it ain't half bad. Well, they call me King Turtle here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have a crown. Well, they call me King Turtle up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have the crown. Now that's a fun song.
That is a good song.
All right, I gotta get that.
All right.
I gotta go make dinner. You
All right, thanks everybody.
Yeah, what's the volume on?
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
wanna
thanks.
Make you deaf.
Mhm.
Thanks, sir.
You're good.
That's a great song. Yeah, Steve, I'm sorry I screwed that.
No, just fuck off. Who cares?
And you know the shitty thing is, you know what's wrong. Did you do it
Yep. Thanks everybody.